Let's jump forward. So you went from CrossFit to strength and conditioning, but specifically on the CrossFit side. How did this start to connect to the holistic wellness and online coaching?
So I was a competitive athlete for about 7 years, and it just beat my body up. I mean, the training is so intense, and so I kind of stopped CrossFitting like at the beginning of the pandemic, and I started to focus more on like functional bodybuilding, because I think that some of the methodologies from CrossFit are great, but then I also think that some machine work and just some like accessory stuff is really good. So by combining the two, I noticed that my body completely changed shape. You know, I was thick before. I was a big girl before, you know, and I was strong. I mean, I had a 200 kilo deadlift at one point. And I mean, I could really smash through some weights, but I also wanted to change my physique. So COVID happened. We went 50% on our salaries, which is already nothing of nothing. And I had a really big choice to make. I was like, okay, do I just suck it up and stick it through in Phuket, or do I jump ship? And so I decided to go back to the States like halfway through COVID. And I will never forget that feeling of being at home and my stomach, you get like a deep stomach ache and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Here I was, a coach at a gym, and what was I going to do? And where was I going to live, and where was going to make me happy? And so one day I randomly was like, searching on Instagram, and this guy's profile popped up of, he was a business coach of teaching trainers how to become an online fitness coach. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I reached out to him, and we had a phone call, and it sounded great, but it was really expensive. And at that point I had no money. I come from Thailand, not making any money, and didn't have a lot of savings. And so I thought about it for a couple months. And finally one day I just woke up and I was like, you know what? The second you pay for something, you have to make it work, right? We talked about like buying the ticket and stuff. I was like, if I'm going to invest in this business coach, I need to figure out how to make it work. He had great testimonials. I mean, the people that were in his program were soaring through success stories. So I was living in Mexico at the time. I was living in Tulum, which is a really cool spot. A lot of digital nomads there too. And I started his program. And within I had 0 online clients. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I can teach you how to squat and deadlift and all these things, but how do I bring that knowledge online, right? It's a totally different ballgame. And so, I just followed through his protocols and his steps. And within a couple months, I was at like 60 clients. And it has been soaring ever since. And so that's when I really shifted my focus from training someone at the gym, right? Like at this point, I really don't care. Like, of course I want my clients to get to the gym and make sure that they're following the program that I'm giving them. But it's really about the other 23 hours of their day that are going to get them long-term results. And that was when my and call after call, anybody that wants to join my program, we do a 30-minute, free call so that I can get to know them and what their goals and what their issues are and stuff. And after talking to hundreds of people, I realized that everyone has something going on with their gut. Everything starts in the gut, right? And so from there, I was like, wow, this is a commonality now. So I want to dig into this. My mom is a homeopathic doctor. And so we were only raised with herbs and oils and homeopathy my whole life. And so because of that foundation that I had with her, I wanted to start using that practice in my coaching program. And really what holistic means is getting to the root of the problem rather than putting a Band-Aid over the symptom, right? The best analogy that I love is, your gas light goes on in your car, right? You have 2 options. You can either take the gas light out, or you can take it to the mechanic and see what's actually wrong with the car, right? And it's the same thing goes for your health. And I see it way too many times. You go to the doctor for an issue or whatever, and it's just these fast pills, right? Over the counter antibiotics, this, that, all of these things. And they're not asking what their nutrition is like or how their sleep and their hormones and their stress levels are at. They're just like, here's a pill. And then that causes so many other issues. And so that is now my main focus is how can I help people long-term lose weight, get better gut health, have better sleep, more energy, and balance hormones.
What do you find is you're saying because of the gut health. Now, is it the pharmaceuticals? Is it the diet? Is it a combination of both? When you're listening to your clients, what are they most often saying that kind of, triggers your alarms of what the hell are you doing?
I think mental health, number one, especially, going through the pandemic and stuff, I think everybody's mental health has really just been shot. I think stress levels are higher than they ever have been before. And because of that, we're often retreating to feel-good foods, right? To get that little quick hit of dopamine to help with that mental imbalance. And then from there, processed foods, way too much sugar, not focusing on sleep. So when people come to me, it's often for PCOS, hyperthyroidism,